You're staring at a room that feels a little too empty, and you keep wondering whether a pool table is the right way to fill that space without blowing your budget. I get it, you don't want to spend a lot of money on a piece of furniture that ends up gathering dust. And you certainly don't want to wrestle with a table that looks great on the box but turns out to be a nightmare to set up. That hesitation is exactly why I spent a few evenings digging into what a 7-foot slate table actually brings to a home office or a den, and why the Playcraft Rio Grande might be the sweet spot for folks who want that classic billiards vibe without the full-size barroom commitment. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the Rio Grande isn't trying to be a tournament-grade beast. It's positioned as a good enough orphan table that still respects the core of what makes a pool game feel right. The biggest thing that separates a true slate surface from a cheap MDF or particle board deck is the way the balls roll. On this model, Playcraft uses a 3-piece slate system, which means the playing surface is genuinely stone, not a synthetic mimic. In everyday terms, that translates to a smoother roll and less wobble when you're taking a break after a long day and just want to sink a quick 8-ball. I tried a few casual games in a home office that's also my workstation, and the balls behaved consistently across the whole surface, no sudden speed bumps near the rails that you sometimes notice on cheaper tables. The weathered bark finish is more than just a visual cue. It's a practical choice for a room that might see a bit of foot traffic, kids, or pets. The wood is treated to look aged, which helps hide the inevitable scuffs that come with a table that doubles as a coffee table when you're not playing. One of my friends set his Rio Grande in a den that also serves as a reading nook, and after a few months of kids climbing the legs for a makeshift fort, the finish still looked respectable. If you're worried about a glossy surface that shows every fingerprint, this matte, distressed look is a genuine advantage. Now let's talk installation. The product description says professional installation is recommended, and that's not just marketing fluff. The 3-piece slate needs to be leveled precisely, and the frame has to be anchored to keep the table from shifting during a vigorous break. When I arranged for a local installer, the process took about 2 hours from unboxing to the final level check. The biggest hidden trade-off is the cost and scheduling of that installation. If you're a DIY enthusiast and you have a solid level, you could theoretically put it together yourself, but you risk ending up with a table that isn't truly level, which shows up as a wobble when the balls reach the edges. For most buyers, budgeting the extra $150, $200 for a pro will actually save you time and headaches later. The Rio Grande offers a surprising amount of customization for a table at this price point. Playcraft includes a choice of 25 cloth colors, which lets you match the table to a room's color scheme without having to repaint walls or buy a new rug. I went with a deep charcoal cloth because my office already has dark wood accents, and the contrast with the weathered bark frame gave the room a cohesive, almost boutique hotel feel. The only practical downside is that swapping cloth later isn't a quick swap out. You'd need to remove the rails and retack the fabric, which is best left to a pro if you want a perfect finish. Who should consider this table? If you have a dedicated space, say, a 1,012-foot room or a sizable office corner, and you want a table that can handle regular weekend games, a few friendly afterwork challenges, or even occasional league nights, the Rio Grande hits the sweet spot. It's especially appealing for families who want a game that can bring everyone together, because the stone surface holds up better to the inevitable bumps and knocks from enthusiastic players. It's also a solid pick for small to medium commercial spaces like a coffee shop lobby or a co-working lounge that wants a conversation starter without committing to a full-size 9-foot table that would dominate the floor plan. Who might want to skip it? If you're an aspiring professional player who needs a perfectly level, 8-foot or larger slate with precise rail pockets, this isn't the table to invest in. The 3-piece slate, while adequate for casual play, can have a faint seam that sharp-eye players might notice. Additionally, if your budget is tighter than $1,500 including installation, there are laminate tables that come pre-assembled for a lower upfront cost, though you'll sacrifice that authentic roll. Finally, if you live in an apartment where you can't have permanent anchoring to the floor, the installation requirement could become a deal-breaker. When it comes to daily usability, the table feels solid enough that you can leave it out year-round without